Juan Mendez Scott's Big Sexy. Chapter 8. Netta. I just have a bad feeling about this, Lucina said, her voice trembling as she sipped her apple margarita, the tangy sweetness lingering on her lips. After a sip of my strawberry margarita, its cool, fruity flavor mingling with the summer air, I said, "Yeah, me too. I have a bad feeling Duane is going to fall in love with me just like poor Craig did. Netta, she wants to meet with you for more than just a drink," Lucina said, her eyes scanning the crowded tiki bar. We were at the Fort Washington Marina, outside Proud Mary's restaurant, perched at the square-shaped tiki bar where patrons were packed tightly, ordering drinks and nibbling on appetizers. The sultry voice of the female lead singer from the weekly band floated through the air, singing Chaka Khan's Ain't Nobody, blending with the chatter of the crowd. A gentle breeze blew in from the Potomac River, adding to the cozy atmosphere as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the water. A uniformed police officer chatted with familiar faces, his presence a comforting routine on weekend nights. Boaters emerged from their vessels, ordering beers and hot wings, catching up with friends at the bar before returning to their personal parties. "Her threats don't scare me, Lucina," I said, scanning the crowd for Maggie's arrival. "People in her condition don't care if you're scared," Lucina said, raising her voice over the noise. "Lucina, there's nothing for me to worry about. Trust me." Out of nowhere, Maggie appeared like an unwelcome storm, her presence jarring. "Maggie," I said, nudging Lucina. "Hey," Maggie slurred, wobbling slightly as she tried to maintain her composure. "Maggie, this is Lucina." "Hi," Lucina said, her gaze fixed on Maggie. "Nice to meet you," Maggie said, her eyes never leaving mine. "I haven't been down here in a while," I said. "You come often, Maggie?" "All the time," Maggie said, waving at friends. "Really?" I said, feigning interest. "Duane and I have a yacht here," Maggie bragged, pointing across the marina. "Right over there. It's like a house on the water. Maybe I'll take you and your friend down and show it to you." A petite, bright-eyed bartender approached. "Hey, Maggie, what can I get you?" "Coconut Ciroc," Maggie said, still waving at friends. "The usual." I gave Maggie a quizzical look. "The usual?" Maggie turned to me. "The usual." Lucina and I exchanged glances, her shoulders shaking with suppressed laughter. I turned back to Maggie. "Do you think it's a good idea to drink considering your history?" Maggie's demeanor shifted. "I didn't want to do this in front of my husband." I shrugged. "Mixing liquor with your medication?" "Netta, I'm glad your friend is here. She can be a witness." Lucina's eyes widened. "Oh my God, a witness to what?" "To letting this sneaky bitch know to stay away from my husband," Maggie shouted, her voice rising above the din. I jumped off the bar stool. "Sneaky bitch? Who do you think you're talking to?" "You," Maggie said, her voice matching mine. "Call me a bitch again, I dare you," I said, my anger boiling over. Our argument grew louder, drawing the attention of the patrons. Willie, the manager, clean-cut and vigilant, watched closely from a distance. Maggie started taking off her earrings. "I'm not playing, Netta. We can settle this right here." "I don't care either," I said, locking eyes with her. Maggie turned to Lucina. "I'm warning your friend to stay away from my husband." "Ladies, please," Lucina said, glancing at Willie and the police officer now watching us. "It's not worth the stress." The bartender brought Maggie her drink, vodka and cranberry, and she quickly took a sip. "You've got one more time to threaten me, Maggie." "Netta, I know what you're trying to do. You've never liked me since high school. You were glad to steal Craig away from me." "Fuck you," I said, rolling my eyes. "You know it." "No, my greatest achievement was destroying you." "Stay away from my husband. I'm not telling you again." "There you go, threatening me again. Netta, don't make me drag you from this bar." Willie and the police officer stepped between us. Willie smiled, trying to defuse the situation. "Everything okay, ladies?" "No, Willie," Maggie said, her voice petulant. "She's trying to steal my husband." I turned to the officer. Can you go to jail for someone's spouse having a crush on you? He shook his head, a slight grin playing on his lips. I laughed, taking a sip of my drink. Maggie, how much have you had to drink? Willie asked. No, I'm okay, Maggie said, straightening up. Are you sure? I'm not leaving until this bitch understands where I'm coming from, Maggie said. Ignoring Willie and the officer, I got in Maggie's face. Call me a bitch again, you've got one more time. Netta, it's not worth it, Lucina said, watching Willie and the officer approach. Time to go, Maggie, Willie said. Come on. She's been stalking my husband, Maggie said, pleading for sympathy. The officer stepped up. Are you okay to drive? I was leaving anyway, Maggie said, finishing her drink. I'm staying on my boat. Willie nodded. Okay, we'll walk you to your boat. Yeah, please, I said, dripping sarcasm. Before she falls into the river. Maggie turned to me, tears welling up. Why are you doing this to me? I stared at her, expressionless. Maggie stormed off, stumbling as Willie and the officer followed her. Lucina and I finished our drinks, paid our bill, and headed for her Mercedes SUV. I should just get her out of the way, I said, cracking the window. Lucina turned onto Fort Washington Road. Get who out of the way? I paused. I'm talking about killing that crazy bitch. Lucina frowned. What do you mean? Killing her, I whispered. Netta, what's the matter with you? You like her husband that much? No. To spend the rest of your life in prison? She threatened me. Because you're interfering in her marriage, no woman will stand for that. So I'm not going to let her threaten me. Netta, chill out. We've been drinking. Let's not do anything crazy. I flashed a menacing grin. I can make it look like a carjacking, robbery, kidnapping. Netta, stop it. I'm serious. I'm serious too. Why? So I can have Duane and all his money. He might not even want you. Chill out. I know he wants me. What man doesn't? We've been drinking. Stop thinking like that. I can't stop. Didn't you tell me she has a history of nervous breakdowns? Because of me, I said, proud. You caused that. Her boyfriend's suicide and her breakdown. Don't push her over the edge. I can get away with it. With murder? Murder, Lucina, I said, leaning closer. Murder.